Alright, I am just about to complete the game. Not much else has changed around here. I'm going to pop into my laboratory just to grab those last 200 ballistic warp drives. Those should be done. Yep. So that's where I'm going to end, is by putting those in the space elevator, and we'll see the end of the game. So the first main thing that's changed here is I built this tower up into the sky. It started mostly for me just to get the achievement where you reach the maximum altitude of the world, but then it's also become a nice way to get anywhere across the map. I also built this hypertube cannon leading up to it. And then I'm so far on the north end of the map that I figure I can pretty much parachute down anywhere on the north end, but I built hypertube cannons going west, south, and east. So to the west, not a whole lot new. I built a nuclear plant over here. This is my adaptive control unit factory I built in my first video. That line over there is a building that is producing rotors, stators, and motors that's getting uploaded to dimensional storage. It's my big oil facility I had before. Out here is a factory I built to make nuclear pasta. And then if we look out more to the south, this is a big fuel plant I built that's fracking some oil over there, feeding some fuel generators. This is a battery depot I built in the center of the map. So there's a facility right there in the middle building factories, or it's a factory that's building batteries. And I've got a whole bunch of drone ports right there in the middle of the map that's just kind of delivering batteries wherever they're needed throughout the map. Down in there I am making fixite trigons and time crystals. I've got another thing back here that's making reanimated SAM and SAM fluctuators. I have a concrete depot over there. Somewhere is also, I think I'm actually not quite sure where it is at the moment, but there's also a quartz depot that's just making raw quartz and sending it out where it's needed via drones. That big building is a turbo motor factory I built, and there's a whole bunch of oil processing going on down there. Over in here is an aluminum depot I built to send out aluminum ingots wherever they're needed throughout the map. Down here is a facility making iron for the things that's needed for the nuclear plant over there, and it's all the iron ingots are getting shipped over by drones. And then looking out more towards, I am above max altitude, out towards the east. That's my original silicone plant I had built down there, or silica plant. It's my turbo fuel generator plant. Some more oil processing going on over there. That's my supercomputer factory. And that factory is making radio control units, and they're just kind of getting sent over there to bring back on the train. Over there is my first mega factory that I showed off in the last video. And then this is the mega factory that I just finished that's making superposition oscillators, magnetic field generators, things like that. So let's start by going east, I suppose. Put on the parachute. Head over towards the nuclear plant. It is really fun just to be able to jump off that and parachute down. So basically there's just a whole bunch of stuff going on, making whatever various thing that's needed. until finally you get to this last phase. Those last three, I think they're manufacturers that I'm falling down on right now. Yeah. Manufacturers making uranium fuel rods. Uranium fuel rod goes in, and out comes uranium waste. And this is 15 nuclear fuel generators, and I'm making way more power than I need now. Making 120-ish gigawatts and using only about, maximum consumption around 90, but only using around 70. It's okay that it's backed up. That's just to make sure that the line stays full. But then over here is where all the processing happens. So you turn the uranium waste into these blenders with some silica, some what is this? Sulfuric acid, and also nitric acid getting made right here, and it gets turned into non-fissile uranium. Non-fissile uranium goes into particle accelerators plus aluminum casings to become encased plutonium cells. Encased plutonium cells plus pressure conversion cube equals plutonium fuel rod, and then the fuel rods, the plutonium fuel rods, can at least at that point get sunk. I could also just burn the plutonium fuel rods for even more power, but I don't need it, and I would need even more post-processing to get it into a waste that can be sunk. So yeah, here's aluminum coming in from the depot, getting turned into casings, and then getting sent into particle accelerators. I've got pressure conversion cubes getting shipped in. I'm actually making them right next to my main storage facility. Just have a factory cart bringing them over. I may be cheating a little bit. I just made it so I don't lose anything upon death. So if I just want to get back to base, I just KMS and go back to base. So we'll go back up to the sky tower. And this time we'll go south. End up over at the turbo motor factory. So here's the battery depot. We're cruising over there. It's under the trees. All those trees are so big you can't blow them up. But that's the building that's getting turned into aluminum ingots. And you can see drone ports there. Parachute on. So in this building just before it is taking in a bunch of iron and deuterium from right here and turning it into ingots. You can see oil processing going on over there. For my last mega factory I just finished, I used a conveyor bus to send stuff back there. Yeah, so you can see iron and deuterium ingots coming out and getting fed into the factory. So this is a blueprint that I built. I kind of modified it based on something I saw somebody post where it's just a blueprint ready to go that you can then snap these drone ports onto as well. It makes the logistics of this a lot simpler. So I've got them all set up so that the one that's painted orange is usually the one that's set up for the batteries to come in. So it's a bit of a plumbing nightmare up here. So in this case, I should go on the other one actually. So I have that one that I was just in set to use more batteries from this one just so I didn't need to have two drones running batteries. So the batteries are coming in from under here, come out from there. And first they get sent over to fuel for the drone port there, but then it gets sent off to be a fuel import for each of the ports above. And on the other 3 ports, you can have either input or output, so left either in or out, back either in or out, then right in or out. And those connect to conveyor floors up in the hole, so just depending on whether you're importing or exporting stuff, you just hook it up and it sets it up ready to go. You can connect to power with the power tower set up in the middle, then the power tower just kind of gets connected to a floor outlet, and then that's wired up on the inside. These extra outlets sitting on the outside, and then you just, when you put the drone port on, you connect it, and there's already, you can almost barely see that there is a wire here that connects down to that connection down there, sticking out right there, and then it's just ready to go. So this is probably the factory that I think turned out the best looking. I set up catwalks over everything, but it's like 120 something constructors just making various iron products. Like it's kind of ridiculous. And then it's all getting sent up to the next floor. Up the stairs, up some more catwalk. Start making some subcomponents. Just a ton of assemblers in here. Again, send it up. This is all just making crystal computers. You need just a ton of crystal oscillators, and then into an assembler with circuit board plus crystal oscillator, you get a computer. It's an alternate recipe, and it just cuts down on a lot of the copper. I use a lot of alternate recipes to reduce copper as much as I can and replace it with iron instead, just because there's so much more iron on the map than there is copper. So like I'll use the iron wire alternate and then use the iron wire, turn it into cable. It uses a lot more iron than it does copper, but there's also way more iron on the map than there is copper. So yeah, so last final sub-assembly and getting fed in to make turbo motor using the electric turbo motor alternate recipe. I've got one more Summers loop. More turbo motors. Why not? And then a nice roof. And then there's a nice conveyor bus sending it back down to the drone port to export. And then it'll take a minute, but I will fly along my conveyor bus to my Mega Factory 2, making all of the very late item games. Or late game items, I should say. Let's hope that the hover pack has enough charge. It doesn't. Come on. Yeah, one of the things I've got going down here is I am making rocket fuel, and then I am packaging it to use in the jetpack. And that's actually, yeah. So this was all just turbo fuel, but I diverted some of the turbo fuel over to here to get mixed with sulfuric acid, and that makes rocket fuel. And canisters come in down here, and it gets packaged up and sent back to base. So I needed yet more plastic for this new factory. And then, you know, I built all this after I made the nuclear power plant, and like I didn't need more fuel, but like you know, might as well turn it into fuel. So it's a bunch of plastic coming out. If it starts overflowing, then it can go into a smart sink. There it goes right there. But so just for the sake of the map, we are way down here at the moment, and I am busing everything out to over here. And this way we get a view of the aluminum depot as well. So it starts off by just having plastic. The amount of things that were needed for that factory, that's where we're headed. It was so complicated, and like I needed such high volumes from all over the place that like I didn't want to deal with the hassle of another train network. I was going to need just an insane swarm of drones to make it work. So since I was only going quarter of the way across the map, really, I was just like, you know what, let's just go very early game style and just make a very long conveyor bus. Yeah, so here's a conveyor bus of aluminum. So there's a whole bunch of bauxite amongst these rocks back here, but these trees are so big you can't blow them up or anything, so it's all just kind of nestled in here. So got refineries making alumina solution over there. The alumina solution's coming out this way to make the aluminum scrap. The water from that's getting recycled back that way. Getting the flows right with that this was the hardest one I ever had to set up. It was so annoying. But a bunch of aluminum scrap comes in and a bunch of aluminum ingots come out. So I got a bunch of drone ports set up here, taking it to wherever, but then also have another line going to rejoin the bus we were just on. And we make another stop over here. Mined a SAM node. Split off some of this aluminum, mix it with the reanimated SAM to get fixite ingots, and then get fixite trigons, which are also needed in the mega factory. So we come in with just plastic and aluminum, we come out with plastic, aluminum, reanimated SAM, and fixite trigons. Another tip I picked up just seeing people posting stuff on the internet, if there's a drop pod that you've covered, that you've already grabbed the hard drive out of, put a power pole on it as just a signal to you that you already got that one, and you don't need to worry about it. And I thought I had gotten so many slugs out here, but there are still so many more to get. So when I started planning out this last factory over here, I mean it is enormous. I was like worried I was going to start running out of resources on the map, and there's still so much more left. I've barely touched the desert up here. I mean, a lot of these are impure nodes, but combine it with a Mark III miner and overclock it, like there's so much material on this map. You're not gonna run out of material. And that's what finally clicked with me this playthrough, was just on old playthroughs, like I would try to use what I was already making and divert that into a new factory, but then you're always running out of stuff. This time I finally just accepted, like, you know what, it's a big world, but there's a whole bunch of stuff out there, like, just go build another factory. It's fine. I don't know why I wasn't running on this conveyor belt the whole time. This one is a Mark V. There's a drone coming in for the plant right there, and then the lights are what you get from the quantum encoders. Yeah, so all those come down into these storage containers. I also have diamonds coming in from up the coast, raw quartz from up that way, making quick wire up the coast, copper ingots just right over there, and then iron ingots just behind it. And this is, again, going to be a pretty similar style factory you've seen me build before, where it all just kind of keeps going up, but the logistics for this one got really, really ridiculous, and I just kind of quit caring about making it look as good as I normally do. I used also a different style of window than I've used before, and I just don't think I'm a big fan of it, but whatever. Yeah, so kind of a similar thing you're used to seeing from me at this point, just you know, lower level stuff on the bottom floor, so iron constructors, what have you. And that's all. This is all just making wire. And the wire comes up to the next floor, turn it into cable. Yeah. Making what, copper sheet, I think? Yeah. And there's something else going on down there. Reinforced iron plate, stators, screws coming in. Here we're making AI limiters, circuit boards. This one I started doing some, instead of having like the really skinny logistics floors I was having, I was just kind of running stuff on the walls. It's maybe a little ugly, but save some space, so actually I think this is probably less ugly than building like half-width foundation floors. Oh, this is all crystal oscillators. Because again, I'm doing crystal computers. So despite the fact where I was just saying that you're never going to run out of resources, I do think there's, when it comes to sulfur and copper in particular, I do think you need to be a little careful. There's some good alts out there to just reduce the amount of either sulfur or copper you need to use. Yeah, so versatile frames, electromagnetic control rods combined to make magnetic field generators, and they go back up to the top, and then well, these are all the computers, technically crystal computers, but and going back out. Yeah, like I didn't even try to like tailor the size of the floors or anything. I'm just building a big tall rectangle, whatever. In fact, as I kept building, like some of the lower floors had to get expanded. I just kept them all the same footprint. So what do we got here? High-speed connectors and supercomputers. And you finally start getting into some of the higher level stuff here. So this is just making excited photonic matter. It's a weird one because you don't need an input for it. You can just make it. Diamonds coming in to be turned into time crystals. What? Time crystals, trigons, supercomputers to make what? Neural quantum processors with dark matter residue as a byproduct. The excess dark matter residue is getting shipped off up the coast again. Some Coal's another thing that starts getting a little scarce. Turn the coal into diamonds, mix the diamonds with the dark matter residue, you get dark matter crystals. Although I realized after I had built all that out there that there's an alt recipe that I had unlocked that you can just turn the dark matter residue into dark matter crystals without the need for diamonds. I wish I had known that before I built a huge pipeline, but whatever. Yeah, so reanimated Sam, this is just turning it into dark matter residue, which you need to kind of kick some of this stuff off. I could probably turn those back off, but everything's working, so I'm just not going to touch it. And these are the particle accelerators making dark matter crystals. And then I think there's just one more floor. Yes, just a little bit. So these two encoders are making superposition oscillators to get fed into this last machine to make AI expansion servers. Any extra superposition oscillators just get overflowed out of here to get sent back, as well as any overflow dark matter crystals get sent back out for export, along with the neural quantum processors and these magnetic field generators. Anything that's excess, I did that intentionally. That was going to overbuild those things a little bit. Get sent into the drone port for shipping. So the export drone is gone right now. Stuff is accumulating, but it sends stuff back to main base. So yeah, that is how I have fully exploited this map to get us through to Phase 5. Could have done a little more efficiently, could have done a little more prettily, but I'm pretty content with how it worked out. So let's go back to base and finish the game. Alright, this is your warning that if you don't want spoilers for the end of the game, to turn this off now. And I've not seen this yet, so let's see what happens.
Unsurprisingly, here's another presentation, but don't worry, I have improved it. This last delivery will be the most important action you have ever taken. Perhaps you want to take a moment to contemplate the gravity of your achievements. Alright, that's enough. This is the end of the Save the Day program. All you need to do is wait for the automated Phase 5 construction to complete. Simply throw the lever and further instructions will be supplied when relevant.
Here we go.
Phase 5 completed. Return to the space elevator after the resources have been processed and added to Project Assembly. Launch can then be initiated from there. While waiting, please do not break anything. Solve any issues immediately and efficiently. Ensure your power network is stable. Perhaps it is best if you do not touch anything at all. And stay close to the space elevator. This will only take a moment.
Why do I get the feeling I'm about to be blown up? Well, let me save my game here. Where are we at? 336. 337 hours. Okay, that's fun. So I guess I gotta figure all this out. Check oil. Oh no, it's telling me what to do. Okay, never mind. Just moving too fast. Set fuel injection level to 5. Activate bus B1. Set left stabilizer to 9. Right stabilizer to 4. Gyroscopic balancer X on. Gyroscopic balancer Y. Z. There we go. All my drones trying to deliver stuff at the main base.
Initiating project assembly. Assembly. Attaching cargo to main body. Leveling inner and outer rings. Attaching propulsion to main body. Fuel lines connected. Attaching control center to main body. Running systems check. All systems online. Releasing propulsion cage. Releasing clamps. Running pre-launch checks and calculating flight path. Locking in cargo. Launch in T-minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, liftoff.
Oh yeah, that's me getting blown to hell, isn't it? Oh. they're not blowing me up. I would have expected Fix-It to blow me up. Is that what's happening now? Oh, that's like the checkmark logo of Fix-It. That's cool.
Connection with QAR-437 nucleus established and stable. Dispersion initiated. Reinstancing master nucleus to QAR-436 Akicha, B1. Hello, this is Ada, your new local instance of Ada. On behalf of Ada, myself, and all of Fix-It, I want to congratulate you on saving the day. Every single kitten and puppy would thank you if they could. You have proven yourself to be a worthwhile and productive member of the human race, and have contributed something to this universe that will forever change it. Thanks to your achievements, the next generation of pioneers can now take to the stars and construct, automate, explore and exploit, alongside me. Additionally, you have been promoted to local production manager, effective immediately. Your duties to project assembly may be complete, but your duties to Fix-It remain. With your help, Fix-It continues to make the universe a better place. Stay efficient. Stay with Fix-It.
And we roll credits. I mean, I kind of expected it was going to be, here you go, it's over. I really thought they were going to blow me up. I'm kind of, it's sad when you're impressed that they didn't blow you up. Anyways, hell of a game. Can't wait to play it again someday.